It's Sunday.
Hello, everybody.
Woo!
How you guys doing?
Love me some Sunday.
What a week it's been.
I know. And as you can see behind us, we are home.
We're back at the house.
Because as Dorothy says, there is no place like home.
Yeah.
And as wonderful as Savannah was, because I really did have a great time there, beautiful city, met a lot of great people, I really missed Tennessee and being home.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to have a place to go back to. And you don't have to carry nearly as much stuff with you when you have a home base.
So, wow, it was good to get home. We did get home late
Friday.
Yeah. So we're still kind of feeling a little bit in vacation mode. So it's hard to get ourselves back to our discipline of what we should be doing. So
yeah, and according to Google Maps, it should have been about a 6 to 7 hour drive, but it was more like 10.
Oh my goodness!
Because we hit traffic.
It seemed like a traffic jam actually the whole way.
It did. It felt like we were going under 45 for about 3 hours straight.
It was nuts, but I will say, if you're stuck in a traffic jam, there's no better place to be than in your RV.
Yeah, it's nice.
There's a bathroom right there. There's a kitchen right there.
You just walk back.
So
like, bring me a sandwich.
Can't complain too much about that. So anyway, thanks for joining us today on this beautiful little chilly Sunday. Yeah. I'm still trying to warm up. As you can see, I'm wearing my jacket, my long sleeve shirt, sweatpants.
Yeah.
Feeling awful comfy.
It is a little cooler here, about 10 degrees difference, give or take.
Yes.
They're, I think, looking ahead in the weather. We're supposed to dip way down into the 20s, low 20s by next week, right?
Yes.
You looked at it. I'm just confirming what you were talking
about. I believe that's starting Friday night.
Ugh.
But, as stuff gets closer, it might change a little. So, yeah. But it's probably going to be a bit chilly. Jessica says there's a lot of traffic in Florida, so we probably caught that. I was telling Brett I thought it was heavier traffic because of people getting to different places for the Turkey Day, and he said this early. I said I think people
it was early.
I think people make more of a long celebration out of it than they used to, where some people just went and then got back to work. I think people now are like, I could stay away from work a little longer. I'm going to make a whole week out of Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So I personally think that there was more traffic because of that. But, a lot of people, they just can't wait to get with their peeps and spend time with their peeps. And I can't blame them. There's not a lot of great things sometimes to look forward to, but Thanksgiving, a lot of people look forward to.
There's a couple of, we're not really in the mountains right here, but we're right on the cusp of hill country, I guess you'd call it. But coming through Chattanooga, which isn't that far, I think it's about an hour. As you come right into Chattanooga out of Georgia, and actually as you come onto 24, you go back down into Georgia, back into Tennessee. And I think I saw 2 Tennessee Welcome Centers. I think there was 2, not 1.
Yeah, so that's because we're in and out. I just like
in and then you're back out and you're in again.
I like when the Google Maps says "Welcome to Tennessee."
It does.
Just like
and it said it twice.
Yes.
I was like, I thought we were in Tennessee already.
That's great stuff.
But you actually cross back into Georgia where 24 dips down and comes back up again. But yeah, it was nice to see Tennessee, and the sign says Tennessee welcomes you. They are very welcoming here. Very nice. We went to church today, and everybody's like, "Oh, we missed you guys. Where were you guys?"
Yeah, it was nice.
You guys are back.
It was nice. We did go to the later service because we didn't want to get out of bed. Like I said, we're still in vacation mode, so tomorrow it's going to be like a swift kick in the butt.
Yeah,
it's Monday. Time to get with it. Stop dragging your feet. Got to get back to the gym. Got to get back to eating gym. Right, because towards the end of the vacation just fell off the wagon completely and still not back on it. So Monday is like back up on it.
Yeah.
But, had a good time. So I don't beat myself too much. When you fall off the wagon, it doesn't do any good to beat yourself up. Just pick yourself up, kick yourself in the butt and get back on course. And that's all you do.
Yeah.
So tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your
Who
life.
was it that signed my aunt's memory book online? I meant to ask you this before we went live, but was that
Christine Roman
Christina?
Noodles.
Okay, I want to make sure. So if she's in the chat, or if not, you guys chime in to her. I want to thank her for reaching out, because she had to look that up. That wasn't something we put out.
Yeah,
So,
she's so sweet. She's always
yes.
thinking of everybody. So that was really nice of her.
So my Aunt Melissa, Mayo, Watts, I think all those names will tag the right person. But she went out and signed the digital, I guess it's like a eulogy. You sign the book. Well, they have a digital one online. Well, my cousin brought that to my attention, and I was like, wow, that was really neat. That one of the viewers put their sentiments out there on that page. I thought that was really special.
Yeah, she is super sweet. Like I said,
Yep.
she thinks of everybody, and
Mm-hmm.
it's people like that, and we have so many people like that in this wonderful community, and it makes your heart full. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what we should always be doing, lifting each other up. And
it was a celebration of life, not like a funeral, but a celebration of life. And it was a beautiful
it was a beautiful service.
area. It was right on the river.
Yeah, so there was like sailboats going by.
Almost on cue.
It was beautiful, and they were playing the music actually that she had recorded, because she played piano.
Mm-hmm.
She had recorded some of her own music, and they were playing that at the service. So it was a wonderful treat. She was a very talented lady.
Mm-hmm.
So it was special to be able to be there. And that's another great thing, if you're able to. I know people aren't always able to travel and do that, but whenever you get the opportunity, make sure you're supporting your friends and your family in the good times and the bad, and being there for them.
Yeah.
So
if any of y'all watch college football, I'm just going to throw a zinger in there once in a while, because we don't want to talk too much sports. Kind of like a politics thing.
I won't be talking any.
Yeah,
any sport
kind of
talk
taboo.
is from him.
But hey,
so
Tennessee, they were on the cusp of making the college football playoffs, and now they're back in because there were some significant losses in the SEC. So that's all I want to say. People that know. The ones that don't, I don't want to tune them out. So that's all I'll say.
He was still brave enough to wear his Tennessee gear after Georgia whooped him.
Yeah, that's okay.
While we were in Savannah, but I think when people get a little too carried away with that and are mean to each other, that loses the whole spirit of the sport. When people can be good sports and hold their heads up even when they lose or win, and just remember, in the end, it is just a game. But some people really get bent out of shape, and it ruins their whole day and week and everything else, which I do not understand.
Even in church today, the pastor made some just like we were in the Georgia church with my cousin, the Baptist church there was great church. We had a great service there. The pastor even made a few jokes about the Bulldogs, the Georgia Bulldogs, and of course beating Tennessee. And our pastor today here said a couple things about, Tennessee's back in. And so it's, you hear both sides, and that's fun. That's supposed to be, an amicable, fun thing. So I guess there'll be many Tennessee, Georgia games in the future. So, they play each other every year. So
I see Jason's in the chat. Hello, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Recognize this? It's kept me warm all day.
Yeah.
And all day yesterday.
His mom made this sweatshirt and gave it to him.
Put this little pool on there. So I remember them always.
Yeah.
So it's just nice and warm and soft.
Perfect weather for hoodies.
So thank Mom again for me, Jason. She does good work. And you're a good helper to her.
We want to give a quick shout out to I don't know if these people are in the chat or not, but the links was sent to them. We were at that Thanksgiving luncheon for seniors.
Yeah, at the church in Savannah. They had a wonderful Thanksgiving luncheon for the seniors, and I think about 100 people came. Yeah. That church, I was so blessed that we were able to attend that church while we were there. They have a wonderful everything, the service, the building, the people in it, the pastor, who's from Ohio. I think he's been in that church for over
Mhm.
2 years, but he sings, he plays piano,
Very
very
talented.
But all the
Yeah.
people in that church were just so nice. And I said, if
Mhm.
we lived in that area, that's absolutely the church that we would attend. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's always nice when you can visit a church away from home and still feel like you're at home amongst those people. So that was a blessing for sure. But they had a lot of food, all
Oh
the
yeah.
Thanksgiving food. And he was mentioning the two ladies in particular that we had met there.
Yeah, the lady next to me was really nice. Her name was Linda. So we'll say hi to Linda. And then the lady across from you, Heidi,
Very nice.
she had mentioned to my cousin today, actually, or that she missed us. Were we still there? And
Yeah.
but
And they gave out so many prizes
they
at
did.
this luncheon, gift cards to restaurants and little gift bags. And it was just really sweet how they look out for each other. It's just another example of how you should be lifting each other up and looking out for each other. So again, I just felt blessed to be able to be there.
And
and
every
meet
time,
great
every time
people.
they'd hand one out, someone at the table would say, "Oh, she deserves it. She deserves it."
Yeah.
So that's good. The right people are.
You should always cheer the people on and not
Yeah.
be selfish and think that you should have got it. And if you didn't get it, well, bah humbug. No, that's not how that works. You should cheer people on because there's a lot of people that are much more deserving of the things. And I think it was just fun to be able to go there. And the food was fabulous, of
Yeah,
course. So I
that was
certainly wasn't
amazing.
worrying about a diet on that day.
No, the food was too good. They had the dessert tables were like as much as the main course. Oh, and they had beets. I love pickled beets and pickled eggs.
Listen, this guy comes back with a plate from the dessert table that's like a full dinner plate, and it was like a buffet selection of desserts. And I had gotten a little small plate for him before he had went and done that. Then I got stuck eating all that dessert. So we rolled out of there like a fat turkey.
Yeah. I don't think we ate dinner. I think that was like lunch, dinner right there.
Oh, it was good times. So I really did enjoy Savannah. What did you think about it?
I thought Savannah was really nice. Now, I'm not a city person. I've never lived in a city, actually.
Wow.
I've lived near cities, but I have never lived in a city. Never. We're not in a city here either. So, but to visit a city, it's great. I think there's a lot of history there. I think there's a lot of water there.
Beautiful,
It's
beautiful buildings.
Yeah, there's the old brick stones. They've really kept a lot of their historical value because I think without that, Savannah would just be a normal seaboard city. But it is on the coast, and it's the second or third largest port.
Third
largest port. So they do a lot of business there. They have this bridge there that they've had to reconstruct to make it taller for the bigger ships, and now they have to do it again. So they're talking about spending another large sum of money.
I forget how much he said, somewhere between
$5
$5 and $6 billion.
$1 billion. Yeah.
But they said the reason they put out all that money is for every dollar they put out, they get 7 back. So they don't mind shelling out that kind of money.
And he talked about the Amazon. So he said, I see those cargo ships over there. Do you order from Amazon? People raise their hands. Who doesn't? And they're like, yep, your stuff's over there on those ships. And I know ours does go through that port.
And we do get Amazon quicker here.
We do. The Amazon distribution center for us is Atlanta. So it does go through Savannah, gets put on a truck, goes to Atlanta, and then it goes out on the trucks. So our stuff does come here really fast. And that's just because I think our proximity to Atlanta and the seaboard, that all that can happen in a couple of days.
So it was a really fun boat ride. We did learn a bunch. And unfortunately, he was having some microphone troubles.
Oh, we know about those,
ride.
Don't we?
Yeah, it seems honestly for the last week or two, just about everybody I know has been having some microphone problems. And, that's the way it goes with cameras and microphones, and technology in itself sometimes just does what it wants to do. And, you better be flexible and just ride along with it. There's no use getting, your panties in a wad about it, to put it frankly.
That's pretty frank.
Yeah. Well, it could be Shirley. I don't know. But it was just fun the whole time we were there. There's so many things we didn't even get to do that are still on the list for next time, but there'll be a next time because I definitely see going back there. It just got crammed in, and then there was weather issues, and but we did have fun also riding the trolley around, and that will be in tomorrow's video. And the best part I think about our trolley ride was the guy who was driving. He was a hoot, and he just had a lot of funny jokes.
It's a hop on and off trolley. So we got on. The first guy was kind of hard to understand, so bear with that. And probably some of that will get cut anyway. But then we got back on the trolley again, and the second guy was hilarious. So it's like, hey, let's just ride this guy back around through all the stops because he's funny.
But then his
day was ending. So it's like, oh.
But, you know, it was fun while it lasted. He was a trip. He's good at his job. And we had fun doing that. And then just walking around downtown was great. So there's so much to do in that town, and there's a free bus service that rides around. So you don't even have to pay for that. And there is paid parking, but you can find places to park that are away a little bit for free, and you just walk. So get your steps in, get some cardio, and just walk. Unless you don't mind paying and you want to park right there, then of course you're more than welcome to do so. But there's plenty of different ways to do it for everybody.
I think if you're in Savannah visiting and you want to get away with not having to pay for parking, because it's all over the place, pay for parking. And it's by the hour, so it can get pretty expensive. The visitor center actually is not free parking. You get an hour free, and then you have to pay after that. But right next to the visitor center, there's a train museum.
But I think there's stipulations on that too, so I wouldn't just say that you could park there all day.
Okay, well, it's free until, it's...
I don't know. I wouldn't...
The sign said 8 to 4, I believe it was 8 to 4 is when the gate closes, and it closes, you're locked out.
But yeah, I don't know what the stipulations were with that. And
if you're supposed to be going to the train museum, is what you're saying?
Right.
That could be. But, so park at your own risk. But I'm telling you that it worked good for us. How's that?
I don't know. He missed the meeting.
I guess I missed the memo.
He usually does.
But there's free parking if you look for it. But you have to look for it.
And then, unfortunately, the last day we were there, finally get to go to the beach at Tybee Island, finally. And it's freezing out. So Brett doesn't mind so much because he could care less about the beach. But that's true.
Yeah, I'd say that.
So it was a real short trip to the beach.
But we did you want to elaborate on that? We did get to see Tybee Island, and there wasn't much traffic because of the temperatures, and it was breezy, so it felt colder than the ambient temperature was. We did walk out on the dock, so you got to see the famous fishing pier. We did walk along the beach a short distance, and we walked the streets a little bit. So, yeah, you got to see it. The Tybee Island's not really that. The built-up areas where the tourists go really isn't that big. It's probably Cedar Key, maybe a little bigger than Cedar Key in size.
Yeah, it's bigger than
Cedar Key.
Cedar Key,
but it's not a Key.
Ways.
It's not in Key West size place, no.
But we did see dolphins when we were on the boat tour, which was cool. There was lots of dolphins in that water. They say sometimes you can even see eagles and sea lions, which we didn't see either of those, just dolphins.
Yeah.
But we did see lots of dolphins. But yeah, normally if I was going to the beach myself, I'd spend a couple hours out there just sitting and watching and walking down in the water and whatnot. But marriage is compromise. So,
couple things. We have a new segment we're going to add to our live stream. We're going to toy with it today to see how you guys like it. But we added
Somebody gave him a brilliant idea.
Yeah. So we're going to add a new segment. We're going to call it the soapbox segment.
So Brett can be on his soapbox.
And this is a chance for me to opine about things that I find, I don't know, get on a soapbox about things that bother me or things I'm really happy about. It can go either way. So we're going to call that the soapbox segment, and we'll get back to that in a little bit. And it's meant to be informative and funny at the same time. What are people saying?
Oh. Yeah, so Brett likes to be on a soapbox quite often, and rather than me have to hear it all the time, he can share it with you guys.
Give me a
Because I've
segment.
heard enough about of the soapbox. So they love the idea. They think it sounds good. So
We're not copying any other channel.
that's good.
We came up with it, or someone mentioned it, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of like that idea. So we'll try it, and if it falls flat, then we'll take it out. But what else
He
happened?
won't.
What else?
Don't let him fool you.
That's my vent time,
Oh
and we're
my.
going to restrict that. We're not going to make that half the video.
Yes, the
It'll be
cannon
like 5
actually
minutes.
does go off
Yeah,
over by that fort just for the boat
it
there.
was loud.
It was very loud, but it was pretty
Boom.
cool that went
You
off.
could even see the smoke go like in circles. Like
I don't know
like
what
this.
scared me more, the cannon or when the boat dude did the horn on the boat.
Yeah, that was
So-
pretty loud too.
But it was a good time for sure.
We had a meeting Tuesday.
Oh yeah, the Otter Creek meeting.
Yeah, we're not going to get into a post-meeting dramatic thing here.
There
but
are things to talk about from that meeting.
there are.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's obvious by the amount of people that view the stuff that people are still interested in it.
Mhm.
So, but the biggest thing I think worth talking about at that meeting is what they did not talk about.
Yeah.
That I
The
feel
post-meeting, non-meeting subjects that did not get talked about.
like they didn't say
They didn't,
much about that festival
they
at
didn't
all.
say boo about the festival.
Just that they needed some sponsors for some signs or something to that effect. But I really wish I had more information about, they didn't even discuss the hours of it, where exactly it's going to be.
This is the main thing.
How many vendors they're going to have.
Where is it?
Where are the bathrooms? Where's the parking? What is your security setup? Even the Christmas in the Creek portion of it, I got no information about that either. So I feel that the town should really be showcasing these events, and this is your big moment to talk about it, and they didn't. So I feel like that fell flat for information.
So the Hales are donating, I guess, for lack of a better word, a lot of the toys left over and the ones being sent to them from the fans that want to help support the children in the county are the ones that come out to get the free toys, right? For the Christmas in the Creek portion of the festival. I'd like to know if the town hall is taking that over, where exactly, like what building is going to be used to disseminate the toys.
So Jessica said that they had a meeting 2 weeks ago about it that covered some of it,
Okay.
but that doesn't help the public know anything. So, I mean, it's great that the people organizing everything are having meetings, but I just think that it should have been shared a lot more with the public.
In the meeting.
That completely fell short of everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like the town is relying heavily on other people to do the organizing and advertising of their event.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm getting at with that. It's a shame that they've missed opportunity to talk about their event.
And they've missed the opportunity to have a platform, a digital platform to advertise the event. They still don't have a Facebook page or a YouTube channel or an internet page or nothing, which would have been I would have made that a goal to have that page up before this meeting that just took place so that you could promote it and have the information available, but they don't have any of that yet.
And although there was few people in the crowd, there was 2 people live streaming the meeting. So it's not that it wouldn't have been reached by people to know that.
Right. It would have reached. My concern, I don't know if it's a concern because
someone says that it's going to be at Zim's place.
Yes. Now, see, that's my concern, I guess, since you're reading it. I was going to frame it a little differently, but if this is a festival, an Otter Creek festival, and a Otter Creek Christmas in the creek, then where should these toys be coming from? Otter Creek Town Hall, right? Maybe it's not big enough, or is it that Zim is trying to promote his campground? Do you see where I'm kind of going with this? Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if he's going to be handing these toys out, he's going to have a lot of people coming through his personal campground.
Belinda will be on What the Hales tonight to talk about it.
Okay.
Well, that's great.
That's great, but
I think they missed their own platform of the town to talk about it.
The town is supposed to do that on their platform in their meeting. But that's great. At least it'll get done. And this is where we thought that the town.
Jessica says Zim has a huge area for Santa and Mrs. Claus, and he'll have a huge area for the toys.
Okay. And that's valid. But I still think they need to.
But see, this is what happens when you leave the public out of the loop. It leads people to guess at what is actually happening and these things.
Is it because they have more space to disseminate the traffic and the toys, or is it more about promoting his campground?
They say they don't believe it's about promoting the campground, but you do. You leave people to wonder about what the motive is.
Yeah, that's all.
I don't wonder, but
I'm not answering the question. I'm just proposing the question. You guys can debate it. You can,
Someone said it might be crazy crowded in that campground.
Yeah.
I wonder if the campground is full yet. Don't forget Shady Oaks Campground. People can also stay there. I don't know how full they are. I don't even know where we're staying yet.
Yeah.
We have made no plans, but I would rather leave both of those places open for all of y'all, and we'll just scramble up something at the last minute. I'm not really worried about where we're going to stay.
Yep. And both campgrounds have a webpage. You can go to them and you can book them online. Yeah.
And people were asking too about the future of Christmas in the Creek and the future of the festivals. And they're worried because Jeremy's selling the ranch house. But again, this is the town's activity. Jeremy doesn't hold the festival. And Jeremy had the first Christmas in the Creek because the town wasn't able to do it. And now he's handing it back to the town. So I imagine in the future, and this is something, again, you would have to ask Jeremy about because I don't know. I would assume that he would be doing the same as this year with collecting stuff and handing it over. But again, that's a question you would have to ask Jeremy if he plans on doing that for next year or if it's just all the town to do.
Mm-hmm.
Those are questions for him. I can't speak for what he's doing as far as that concerned, but these are town things. Christmas in the Creek now, and the festival is the town. So it's up to them to do a lot more of the stuff.
And we're not as informed about Jeremy's intentions on things as we probably may.
We're not a member. We're not a member to their channel, and I know he does give out a lot more information to the members only during their member stuff. We're not members, so you guys probably know more than we do about many things.
That's what I was trying to say.
So, in a nutshell, that's that. So. Nobody gifted us a membership.
If he wants us to know, he'll reach out and he'll tell us. Otherwise, we don't know.
That's right. And I know he's very busy. He has so much going on, especially with Whatnot. I know that takes up a lot of his time. So for him to be able to give time to Christmas in the creek and do all that is a blessing. So I know everybody appreciates that he's able to help out with those things. And I don't even know what we're going to be doing while we're there or how long we're going to be there. I don't know what day we're getting there. We don't plan that far ahead. So we just kind of fly in and wing it.
Yeah.
So it'll be the same as what we always do. We'll find out when we get there. Oh, thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate
He's
that.
worried about the security. There's been threats. I have not heard any of these threats. We are probably, because we don't watch a lot of the other channels, so we're probably more out of the loop than everybody else, because when I tell you I'm not bothered with what gets said on some of the other channels, I can say that confidently because I do not watch them. And the only way we ever know anything is if somebody shoots me an email or somebody says something in one of our chats. Otherwise, I have no idea. You guys know way more about everything than we do. So I haven't heard about these threats, but I can tell you I would be concerned about security issues as well. I already was not knowing about any threats, just because sadly enough, what's been happening with Otter Creek and the people jumping on the bandwagon for the drama views and making more drama and constructing more drama is just sad.
It's a sad state of affairs.
It really is a sad situation as to what's going on, but I don't waste my time giving drama views. I'm not into drama. I don't like it.
No,
so
we're not going to take part in it. So we have our personal views, and we believe me, we discuss them off camera, but we're not going to bring that negativity to our page because that's just not what we want. It's not what the platform's about.
Well, it's pretty silly, I think.
And it's counterproductive. It just leaves everybody angry and divided.
Teresa says I got accused of being Madam Mayor in disguise today. Well, unfortunate for them. I don't comment on their stuff. I don't watch their stuff. So if they accuse anybody of being me, then that's just I'm not on their stuff. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, and Madam Mayor is not going to ever misrepresent herself. Like, she's not going to try to sneak on these other channels to find out what they're saying. We hear what they're saying. We're not.
Well, I don't think we really do hear what they're saying.
Well, yeah, not
because I don't know anything about threats. I just don't involve myself with the negativity. I just,
right.
In the end, I always say God's in control of everything. So I don't worry too much about all the other stuff.
And to be honest, if you can't look at this objectively on the outside of the boxes
and see what's what
and who's on the right side of things and who's not, then you got more problems than I can fix. So if you can't tell who's on the right side of things and who's not, we can't help you. That's for you to decide.
So I guess I've got a few stunt doubles out there because I know there was another person who used to be accused on another channel of being me too. So, but I guess some people have nothing better to do but be negative, and that's shameful.
And they think that's
I wish
funny.
They had better things to do with their time.
I don't get it.
But I don't get involved in all that, and I'm not worried about it. God's in control. I don't worry about what the devil's doing over there.
Yeah, she talked about instead of buying ducks for the Jeep to duck other Jeeps, that we should get little baby Jesuses and Jesus gift people that need Jesus.
I think you better get a big old bag.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny.
Madam Mayor, the troublemaker.
Yeah, you've caused so much trouble.
You know what? Honestly and truly, you just gotta laugh. There's so much miserable in the world. You can either partake in it and let it ruin your day, or you can just brush it off, laugh, move on.
Feel sorry for some people.
It's not important. And I don't like to make any of that relevant. It's not relevant to me. I don't pay it attention. It's sad what's going on. And I think more of it is going on just because of hate.
Mhm.
It's not because you want to help people. It's just because you
want
hate.
you want to hurt people.
So
Yeah.
you just hate that much.
And if
So
you don't agree with them, you become a target.
That's sad.
So we're just not going to get involved in all that.
But
So
is what it is.
We'll move it right along.
So yeah, so that was basically my thing about the whole meeting, is that I would have loved for some more conversation about the festival to go on,
Mhm.
so we could know what was really happening. But moving on from that, this week on Thursday is Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
which we were talking about a little bit with the traffic. And what a great day for everybody to spend time with family and friends and eat good food. I don't even know what we're doing. We did actually go grocery shopping, so I guess I'm cooking. So we went grocery shopping yesterday. We were originally talking about maybe just going to a restaurant and making it easy, because it's so hard to cook when it's just two people. And I think we still overshopped for it, which was a big, bad mistake.
It's hard to find a small turkey.
Well, I'm not talking about the turkey. I'm talking about the BOGO pies and BOGO ice cream.
Oh, yeah, that too.
You could eat turkey all day long for days.
Yeah.
That's not the problem.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about a small turkey. But so before, it used to be easy when you make junk food like that. You just bring in what you don't eat to work. I don't have that.
We don't have
I can't
that.
do that now. So we probably should have shopped a little bit smarter. But I think it's sad, though. I know I looked forward to before getting to spend time with family and friends, and this Turkey Day will be none of that.
Mhm.
So it'll just be us two here at the cabin. So there'll be no drama, and it'll be quiet.
Yeah, as quiet as we thought it was here during the summer, it's even more quiet here in the winter. Like all the people, like a lot of the neighbors, it's quiet. It's really quiet. Less traffic.
It's just quiet after you've been in Savannah and you've been dealing with all that traffic and all those sirens. You come back here and it's like, oh, so nice and quiet. People driving normally. It's great. So definitely love being back home. And then, of course, after Thanksgiving, what do you have? The day everybody goes nuts for Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So the way I've always looked at Black Friday is I try to see what things I'm going to need throughout the year and get them during that great sale. So if I needed any clothes or shoes, I'd plan out what I need for the year, and that's when I do my purchases.
Yeah.
This year, I don't really need too many things. I would like, which I'll ask for y'all's feedback on it, that Ninja Creamy. Okay. If y'all know what I'm talking about, everybody's been raving about it. You can make your own ice cream and you can make healthy ice cream in it. Are they all that? Is it everything that people talk about? Because that's the only thing on my radar that I think I need is that Ninja Creamy. But
I've never heard of this. So,
but I don't know if it's worth the money or if they're going to have a good sale on it somewhere. So if I get something for myself, it might be that. I don't know. We'll see. But let me know if you've heard about it, what you think about it. I do look forward to turkey sandwiches the next day, even though I shouldn't be eating bread. Never heard of the Ninja Creamy. Well, you got to look it up. That's like everybody's been talking about it.
I haven't heard of it either.
But he hasn't heard about it either. Well, it's on my list to keep an eye on for sure.
Okay, wanted to give kind of everybody an update too on the lawsuit against the Trespass 5.
Ooh,
What's going
Cuisiner.
on? So we're not going to get into a lot of the details of the case, but we will talk about what we know as far as what's been publicly published. So Judge Grudge to Thomas's has been removed, or I believe he removed himself from the case, as he should have, due to bias, previous bias. And it has been also reassigned to Judge Davis. And that's pretty much the extent. We just wanted to make a formal announcement of that. We are aware of that. And that's it on that.
All right. So many things that will be nice when they're past all that negativity.
I've got some questions here written in my notes.
Questions?
Yeah, questions, not questions, right? Is the Christmas in the Creek and the festival going to continue when Jeremy moves? I didn't know Jeremy was moving anywhere.
I didn't either.
That's number one. Where is he? I mean, I didn't know he was moving. If that's a private members only conversation, we're not aware of it. He's selling some property, but that doesn't mean he's moving.
Yeah, he still has the schoolhouse.
He's still got the schoolhouse.
To my knowledge, he's not getting rid of that. So
Right.
I'm not really sure. And again, as I said, the Christmas and the Creek and the festival are town
Or town hall
things now.
Right.
I mean, the
functions.
festival always was, and Christmas and the Creek he just did for the first year. And
Mhm.
yeah, the ranch is for sale, but that doesn't have anything to do with anything. He still has the schoolhouse, so
And there
he's
was
not
some
going anywhere.
there was some dialogue about the property and whether he thinks he can get the property sold or not. And I don't know that I'm one really to opine about the property. I don't think it's because of Cedar Key that property would sell. I think it's a little far removed. Like if it were right up next to Cedar Key, that might be a reason people.
Well, there is a lot of people that live on the outskirts that go fishing, and they don't want to live in Cedar Key
I
and pay those
understand.
higher prices.
But they're not this close. They're more like, this
Yeah,
close.
well, that doesn't matter.
True. My personal opinion is it's not going to be a Cedar Key property seeking person that buys it. My opinion. I think it'll be someone who hunts or wants some hunting property. I think it's more conducive to that.
I mean, I think it would be a great hunting camp property for sure.
Mhm.
I always loved how when you're on the property and you're back in the ranch house, it's kind of like you're just back there and everything is kind of spread out away from you. So you don't think about anything. You're just away from everything. It's a nice feeling. So whoever does buy that property is going to have that, at least that little sanctuary away from stuff.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice. I used to joke all the time that I used to like visiting the ranch house because when we were in Shady Oaks, our house is right there with all the traffic and you're kind of in the center of everything and there's no way to get away from it. And when you're at the ranch house, you could be away from all that. So it was kind of like you could just breathe.
I think if you're looking for Cedar Key property, now my parents did this about, I don't want to say 30 years ago, maybe more. But they went to Cedar Key on a honeymoon and they loved the area. And so they ended up buying property toward Chiefland. And so I think Chiefland would be a better draw. Chiefland's about the same distance as Otter Creek. It might even be slightly closer. There's a road that goes right straight from Chiefland to Cedar Key. You don't have to go through Otter Creek to get there from Chiefland. I think Chiefland would be actually a better option for those seeking Cedar Key because you have more services there. But that's people's personal choice. If they want to be way out rural somewhere, I think you can get that on the outskirts of Chiefland as well. But so I think anyone who buys the property, they're going to be more interested in the hunting aspects of the property and maybe the seclusion that it could provide, being off the road the way it is.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be my big thing. But yeah, I think it'll be a great property for somebody looking for that.
And of course, the cell tower might be a selling point for somebody too.
Also, when we were in Savannah, we took the opportunity to check out Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Because if you're near a city, there's a lot more deals to be had. I know when we're home, Murfreesboro, Nashville, and those bigger cities always have some really cool stuff, but that's quite a drive. So since we were near a big city, we decided we'd check it out. And we did actually find a few things to purchase while we were over there. A couple of items that were brand new in the box. So it made it easy to transport it there. And that was in the city of Richmond Hill, which is right next to Savannah.
Yeah, it's right outside there. Yeah.
So that was a cool deal, finding a couple of furniture pieces, brand new in the box, good deals. And
we'll throw those out on a DIY video later.
Yeah, we didn't go to any yard sales or thrift stores while we were there, just because there was too much stuff going on. I do like to check out different towns and see what kind of stuff they have in yard sales and thrift stores. So we didn't get to do that one. But like I said, we always leave plenty of stuff for the next time we're back. I know if we go back, there's a couple of different beautiful places that were on the list that we did not get to go to. And sometimes too, again, what I think is fun to do and what Brett thinks is fun to do, as you will find in most marriages or relationships, there's that compromise word and they don't always jive. So sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, you win this one.
Right. So guys, are you with me? You can only walk through and look at so many shops of stuff, of shops selling stuff. Trinket shops, candy shops, ice cream shops, novelty shops. I can do only so much of that.
Well, after a while, talking about those shops.
I know, but I don't need to go back and do more of that. I'm done. I'm full of that. I need more. Like, I really like outdoor stuff. I'd rather go ride a bike or go ride.
Well, I know I wanted to go to the Bonaventure Cemetery and a few other places, but those aren't things that are high up on your list.
Yeah, cemeteries don't interest me. I know there's a big group of people that does like to go through cemeteries.
Well, that one in particular has landscape stuff to look at and this and that.
Well, if we had,
anyway, back to the point of.
So if we had more time,
you don't always agree on the things to go because you have different likes. Which I know some people that are in relationships that never do anything together because they're so polar opposite. I even have friends that don't even go on vacation together, which I think is very odd. But they are to the extreme on the other end. And they've been together for quite a long time. So it works for them.
It work. Yeah,
it works for them for sure. But, you know, in every relationship, you're going to have differences. And sometimes you just got to do a lot of compromising.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I left stuff on the list for next time. And sometimes you just got to have a group of girlfriends to go do stuff with, or guy friends to go do stuff with.
Yeah.
But we're a little far removed from that.
So, are we ready to move to our
Brett's soapbox
segment? So my soapbox segment.
Oh Lord.
This I was thinking, okay, maybe we're not ready to introduce this segment. Actually, yes, I do have something. And so we added it to the segment. My soapbox is traffic jams. It's traffic jams because we hit a few of those on the way home.
A few.
It's a pet peeve, I guess. This is like the shopping carts not being returned to the cart carousels or back to the store. They just unload them and then they leave without putting the carts back. That's a pet peeve of mine. That bothers me. But that's for another time. This is a traffic jam where, was it 2 or 3 lanes typically get, we're waiting because there's it's a jam, it's a traffic jam. It's on an interstate. And Google, this one came up because of Google, but there's an exit. And so people are wanting to exit and they're not wanting to wait to get up to the exit, but they want to use the shoulder for an exit. Well, we knew what was happening in this particular case. If you're trying to exit a car here and there, we get it. But if you're using the shoulder as another means to create another jam to make it worse for everybody else because you want to cut the line, I have a problem with that. And so I would merge over and block. And truckers were doing it too. they were blocking the shoulder to keep people from lining up on this exit because Google Maps was routing people that way. And there's a slight delay with Google Maps in their response time because that traffic lanes that are blocked could get cleared up while it's being put out. Like there might be a 20, 30-minute delay. But Google Maps was routing us to this exit for a while. And it was saying, oh, you can save 45 minutes by taking this exit. Well, by the time you get to that exit, 20 minutes later, that's probably not
You're just trading out traffic
Yeah,
jams.
you're trading out traffic jams for another traffic jam.
Skipper's in the house. Hello.
Hey, Skipper. So my soapbox thing here was be patient, and you're going to need this during the holidays. If Google Maps is routing you to an exit and everybody's trying to pass or cut line and use the shoulder to do it. In fact, a cop came up and sat at the end of that exit ramp just in front of us, maybe 500 or 600 feet in front of us. And he had pulled someone and was blocking people from doing that. So it is illegal to use the shoulder to cut the line. So if you're out there, don't do that.
I was always surprised
It's
when I saw people
disrespectful.
doing that in other places because growing up in South Florida,
Mhm.
you know what people would do? They would, especially, I talked about this with you with motorcycles.
Oh, yeah. They
When
split the lane.
people go through the traffic in the motorcycles, people down in South Florida, they'd open
Oh,
up their
yeah.
car doors
On purpose.
and like they did not like that at all. So when I would see people doing that, I'm like, ooh, good thing they didn't grow up in South Florida because that was not tolerated very well down there.
Yeah, South Florida traffic is on a whole new level. It's on another different level that the rest of the country, I don't think, really is at yet. Now, I can't speak for LA, New York, and those places, but South Florida is over the roof.
When I went to New York
Through
and there
the
was a
roof.
traffic jam on the highway, we were coming from the airport to our hotel, and the taxi cab driver rode that whole shoulder all the way through. And I was like, oh, this explains a lot because there was a lot of New York drivers in South Florida.
Yeah.
And my stepdad was from New York and he drove like a crazy taxi cab driver all through our childhood. And I really understood at that moment where he got his lessons on driving.
But these people they're disrespectful drivers. They don't care. They're cutting the line is what they're doing. They're cutting the line because they're all about me. And they don't realize
Me.
they're inciting anger and they're creating road rage situations. I like what the truckers do. They don't get in a hurry. They get in those right lanes and they'll lay back and they'll let this gap form in front of them. And a lot of people will cut lanes. You know how people just jump lanes in case because they think they might get one more car closer to the next light or one more car closer to the next accident. To me, you're just creating stress where there need not be one. Just because one lane is in front of a lane at one point, not even 30 seconds later, it can go the other way. So you jump in lanes, all you're doing is creating, inciting hate with other drivers. You're trying to cut the line. That's your intent, is to cut the line. Now, whether it works out that way or not is another story. But I think it's the wrong thing to do. You're not doing the right thing. Just get in line, wait your turn, and then you'll be allowed to go. If you needed to get there early, you should have left earlier. That's poor planning on your part.
I always liked when people would cut me off and then you pull up behind them at the next light. And I'd always do this. Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo. You made it so far. And just laugh.
So that's my soapbox segment, is be friendly on the highways. Don't use the exits to cut the line. And
otherwise, the sheriff duck.
The sheriff duck.
It's supposed to be the OC sheriff duck because that's the only sheriff they got. He's going to come get you and he's going to give you a quack attack.
So the next thing we have is we have mail.
You've got mail?
We've got mail.
And you don't even have your little Jeep.
I think it's over there, but we're just going to point to it. We've got mail, and there's the mail Jeep right
For
there.
shame. He's delivering in his own private vehicle today. Oh, let's see what Skipper says.
What you got, Skipper?
in the Middle East, the shoulder is called
The
the
Allah
Allah lane
lane.
because they drive it and put their trust in Allah. Well,
Yeah, that's true.
guess you better trust somebody for that because who knows what could happen
Yeah, in a day like
with the road rage.
yeah, with the road rage, it doesn't take much, and people are pulling pew-pews, and there's fights in the street. I mean, they got a whole TV show dedicated to that.
Just one?
No, probably more than one, but I know they
Because
have.
you
at
know
least
everybody
one.
likes some
They
drama.
like that drama.
They like that drama.
Yeah.
Trash TV.
Trash TV.
Oh. Cray cray.
So we've got some mail. First, we have a card. And this is from Mary Dale. So we want to thank you. It just says, giving thanks for simple blessings, quiet moments, and special people like you. Have a great Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Best wishes, Mary Dale. So we just wanted to say thank you for that.
Thank you, Mary Dale. That was so sweet.
Very nice.
Those are the wonderful things about this channel is
I was just going to say that.
Getting the lovely words from everybody. And I'll tell you, there's been some days where you just, with all the negativity and all the stuff going on, you just don't even want to be bothered with it anymore because you think it's a waste of time. And anytime I have one of those days, I know it's a God wink because the next day I'll get an email from somebody and they talk about what a blessing and you are and how you bring them closer to God. And it's just, he always has somebody saying the right words at the right time. And it's sweet to hear such lovely things from everybody.
If all we got was hate messages on the channel, we wouldn't have the channel. We don't need the channel. The channel's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be interaction, creating community, and having fun.
I like to spread positivity, not negativity.
If it's not fun and it's all negative and it's just a humbug kind of experience,
I don't know who wants to live that way.
We're not
but it's not me.
You know, our channel probably would have done great if we'd stayed in Otter Creek and you'd stayed on as mayor, but that's not what we wanted to do with our life. So this is from Annette Mars.
Annette Mars.
Okay. So she writes a lot, but we'll share some of it with you.
And that's just an inspirational message that we can read later.
Right.
But she says, Therese and Brett, I love watching your travels and adventures. Thanks for sharing. I met Madam Mayor at the July 2023 Town Hall meeting. My best friend of over 40 years and I were headed to Key West. I bet that was a great adventure. I live in Corpus Christi, Texas, and she flew in from Washington State, of course, because of what the hails, but watch you guys now as well. Prayers for George and Jeremy. I sent you to a package gift for your housewarming. I packaged it well, so hopefully the tossing, throwing, and abuse it takes through USPS, it will survive unscathed.
That's true.
Which you did a wonderful job.
You did a great job.
So
it's heavy too.
Yes, this tissue box she got for her log home her husband and her built in Washington State on the Spokane River. And I think this is so sweet because number one, this fits into the log cabin theme. And for somebody to give something that obviously meant something special to them, to us, is special to me. And the funniest thing about this is just the day before, I think I put on the list that we needed tissues. We had bought so many tissue boxes from Sam's Club that we haven't had to buy tissues in over a year. And just the day or two before, I put tissues on my list, and then this comes. And I'm like, I just had to laugh. That's something for timing.
So these are real holes I was trying to point out.
It's just beautiful. And I think that's so sweet. So she then... Okay, Vanna.
What?
Vanna White over here. You didn't do this.
I was showing
Vanna. So then,
also,
we got the ultimate ducking. We got ducked big time.
Big duck.
Check this guy out.
Woo.
So she says, I hope you find a special place for the big yellow guy. She's had it since the 1990s. How
Wow.
special is that she's been carrying this duck around this long, and now we just got the ultimate ducking.
30 years.
That is so funny.
That's cute.
To have a duck so big. So I don't know where we're going to put this guy yet.
It's waterproof.
But it's pretty awesome to have this duck.
Big rubber duck.
So enjoy and know that you both are a blessing to everyone you touch. Best wishes, Annette Mars. Annette, thank you so much. This is just the sweetest, and we'll read this inspirational note later. And as I said, all the inspirational blessings and notes, they make all the difference, especially, we have hard days just like everybody else has hard days. It's a rough world. So anything you can do to tell people anything good, uplift their spirits, even if it's just someone that you are walking past, give them a smile. It doesn't cost you anything. Right. Just be kind to each other. That might be the biggest and cheapest gift you could give anybody, is your kindness. Right. So it's just a blessing to have such a wonderful community. And I feel so blessed completely. And this next one comes from Sherry. Now, she had told me about it coming when we were leaving town, and she was hoping it would get here before we left, but it did not. And we just checked it yesterday. And I'll message you later, Sherry, because I got caught up in a bunch of stuff today and didn't even get to it.
And in fact, one of these had a notice like to be sent back. But fortunately, this post office didn't send it back. They hold them for quite a while.
So, which they should.
Yeah, we thanked them. I said, well, don't send any of our stuff back. If we're out of town, we'll be back, promise. So
strap it to the roof of the car. That's funny, Melanie.
She got us a whole bunch of North Pole coffee.
And there's like 6 different bags with 6 different flavors. Sherry knows me so well. Thank you, Sherry.
So gingerbread mix.
You're an absolute gem, and what a pick-me-up this is going to be.
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice. I mean, there's so many awesome flavors.
Now, if you guys don't know, we visited the North Pole Coffee House.
Yeah, we did a video about that.
In Fairbanks, Alaska. And these guys are famous for their coffee
and I had never tried it before, but we've been drinking the Snickerdoodle coffee.
That's what this one is.
Saint Nickerdoodle.
Saint Nickerdoodle.
Well, we just call it Snickerdoodle. So we've been drinking that one, and it is delish. I'm excited to try out some of these flavors that are at the bottom of the box.
I know. I don't
remember. Turtle Dove.
Turtle Dove.
Now, that's my kind of turtle. Now, if you read, I'm going to tell you what's in this wonderful. It has chocolate, caramel, and pecan flavors, or pecan, for those of you who say it like that. So,
part of the world.
It's so exciting.
Dark chocolate mint. That sounds yummy.
Bet that's going to be delish.
Yep.
And for the grand finale, woo!
And there's a card in the bottom.
Ooh.
Ooh, this one sounds cold. Frosty's Delight.
Frosty's Delight. And that is one I haven't tried yet either. But it does sound delish. It has milk chocolate, creamy caramel, and it will keep you toasty warm during the winter cold.
You want to read it?
So the people at the North Pole Coffee said, Sherry, thank you so much for ordering all the way from Tennessee.
She probably thought she lived in Tennessee.
So the North Pole Coffee people want to thank you too, Sherry. And I definitely thank you. This is going to be delish, and I'll keep you posted on all the different flavors and how good they are.
And it's signed by the owner.
That's really cool. I know the owner is very involved in the company. So that's super sweet that they put that in there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because I don't know that they put that in everyone. I'm not really sure.
And then she wrote on the back.
But I'll have to send you a message tomorrow, Sherry, because I did not get to it yesterday or today. Trying to get all caught up on the vacation life. I don't want to come back from vacation.
I know sleeping in was
It's
nice.
so hard to do.
It's so quiet here when you're sleeping in. At the campground near Savannah, Hunter's Army Air.
It was
Army
pretty
Airfield.
loud.
The traffic was the only loud thing. The people in the campground are not the problem.
No. It was just that it's
outside
right
the
by a
campground.
busy road, and the one roadway gets backed up every day. Like they have a real traffic
They
problem
do.
on that part of town. They've got some things to do with that. But other than that, everything was great.
The campground is pushed all the way up against the fence, the border of the fence that goes around the base. So you're right up next to the fence. And I mean, you can even see the cars on the other side through the trees. I mean, there's trees there, but it doesn't block all the noise.
We definitely had a good time there. And we met a lot of nice people. We had a lot of fun riding our e-bikes around. That was, we did a lot of that while we were there. We even went on one wooded trail that gave us a lot of experience on maneuvering around.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun for that. I look forward. We will be bringing those down to Florida when we go there.
Yeah.
Now we won't be heading right to Florida after Thanksgiving because we do have some doctor's appointments. So again, I'm not sure exactly when we will be leaving, but I know I did get those doctor's appointments moved up a little bit. So we'll be leaving earlier than we originally anticipated. Right. So I do look forward to getting down there and seeing everybody, and hopefully everything will be a great success at the festival, and hopefully all the meetings that have been happening with everybody who is orchestrating it have gone well. So that means everything should go well. It's just that maybe they'll take some notes for next year to keep the public a little bit more informed. But as long as the people organizing it and volunteering know what they're doing and needs to be done, I guess that's the most important part. So we're happy that that is happening, and we hope it's successful. And we hope there are no issues with people acting foolishly and being negative, because the bottom line is this event is for the children and all of Levy County children and Otter Creek. And so if you're going to come in there and do bad things, you're just ruining the time for the children, and that's horrible.
Yeah, it's a children's event.
Yeah, the world is bad enough. At least let the children have good memories and good times before they have to be thrown into this jaded mess.
And we plan on live streaming some of it and making videos and other parts of it. And there'll probably be there may be other YouTubers, I would suspect. I haven't collaborated or talked to anyone about it, but I'm sure there'll be other cameras rolling. And this is not an in-your-face kind of thing that we're doing. We're going to show the joy and the kids and the giving and the smiles and laughter and
hopefully that's what everybody's
the
there
reunions
for.
of our friends and getting back. You know, if you walk in Belinda's office and I have a camera, that's for you guys. That's just to share the joy and you guys getting back together. It's not to go, oh, look, you know, we're not trying to out anybody. We're not there to cause or create any conflict with anybody. It is simply just to show the joy and the happiness of the season, and that's it. If it gets to where that changes, then our cameras will probably cut off. We're not gonna take part in that.
Yeah, if bad stuff is going on, honestly, I'll just leave. Yeah. I won't stay there.
We'll just leave because we don't need it.
I won't stay there for drama or anything. Yeah. So I do hope that that doesn't happen and that people can rise above that and act like mature adults.
I think it'll be fine.
I don't particularly, I'm not going to focus on anything negative happening. I'm just going to remain positive and pray for good, positive things to happen. And hopefully that can be the way things continue on into the new year. And everybody can put all this behind them and just start doing positive things for themselves and the communities around them.
So we were starting to talk about where it is that we might like to go after we go to that event. Do we want to stay down in Florida, or do we want to? I would actually like to go west. We've spent enough time in Florida. There are things I haven't seen in Florida, and I get it. But
I grew up there, and there's
you
things
grew
I haven't
up there.
seen.
Yeah. So Florida is not where I'm trying to stay. I would like to go probably out Route 10 west, I-10, and go towards Texas. I haven't been back to
Yeehaw!
Texas in a long
I've only
time.
been to Texas one time, and it was for a convention, so it was really quick, couple of days. So I would love to go visit Texas.
I'd like to go towards South Padre Island, Corpus Christi, perhaps.
I'd like to get a Texas-sized steak.
Texas-sized steak.
I've heard about them.
And yeah, and
get the meat sweats.
I was stationed there in Fort Hood, so maybe we'll visit Fort Hood. That's in Central Texas.
It's all good in the hood.
It's all
That's
good
what
in the
they
hood.
say.
I don't know if it's called Fort Hood anymore. I'm sure
Probably not.
I'm sure it's not, because he was a Confederate general. So
Probably
it's
not.
probably Fort something or another. But to me, it's always going to be Fort Hood. I served there for 8 years. I was there 3 different times. I did 4 years, and then I went back and did 2 more, and then I went back and did 2 more. So I deployed with the 1st Cavalry Division, my first deployment. So it's been a while since I've been to Fort Hood, but it's a huge post. It's 3 divisions, so it's big. But we'll get around. We'll see what's going on. I'd like to see the coast of Texas. I haven't been down there in a long time.
Sounds good to me.
Corpus Christi, and there's a lot to see there. South Padre Island is really nice. It'll remind you of Florida. Probably not quite as crowded as Florida. Florida can get crowded in the wintertime. It's the best time to be there because of the weather, but it's the worst time to be there because of the crowds.
Yeah, it's hard to get an RV
It's
spot.
hard to get an RV spot. You might get one in Otter Creek, but that's not a destination. It's not.
And they might even be full. I know they get
They
full
might.
with the hunters.
Yeah, the hunters come to season.
So you never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody's looking for a RV spot for the festival, don't forget to look Shady Oaks up.
Yep.
The numbers on the website. They have a Facebook page.
You can meet Rex and family. They'll be there.
I don't know what their availability is, but
yeah,
I'm sure between the 2 parks, somebody's got a spot for you if you need it.
Yep.
And like I said, we'll hold off on a spot till we get there, because I'd like to make sure everybody else is taken care of first.
Right.
We'll figure out things, if we need to. We can even stay with family while we're there if it so happened that we couldn't find a spot somewhere.
And we're equipped to boondock.
It's not a big deal.
We can boondock. We have generator, we have solar panels, so we're set up to boondock if we have to. Now it's more difficult in colder weather to boondock.
But we've done it.
We have done it. I mean, cold weather.
Well, we had to do it on Pink Mountain on the way to Alaska with the fires.
We did, and we ran the generator a lot too, didn't we?
Well, during the night we didn't.
Yeah.
We just bundled up and stayed cold.
Yeah.
So,
but it wasn't.
We have done it.
You're not gonna get temperatures below freezing that are staying below freezing. So Florida can get below freezing, but it'll just touch it and bounce back up. Be back in the 70s again during the day. So it doesn't get cold like 20s and stay in the 20s. It doesn't do that. So that's the only time it gets more challenging. You got to make sure you have enough fuel for your generator and that, but we have all that. So we'll be okay.
So cool. Looks like we'll have some fun adventures after Christmas in the Creek, and who knows where we'll actually be spending Christmas this year.
Yeah.
Somewhere on the road.
Somewhere. It might be on the road.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I always think that's a neat thing about being able to travel, is you never know where you're going to be.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have a schedule, and the schedule can change.
So we will definitely not be doing any Christmas decorating this year, because we won't even be here to enjoy it.
Probably won't.
So we'll be on the road looking to enjoy everybody else's Christmas decorating. So have at it, everybody. Deck the halls.
Get your hee-haw and your cowboy boots out.
I don't have any. I sold them.
Oh, I think I got rid of mine too.
I sold my cowboy boots. I don't have a cowboy hat. I sold everything when we were going to live on the road. So
if anybody lives in the Harker Heights area, Killeen or Fort Hood area, does that country bar Cody's, is it still there? I mean, I tore up a lot of boots there. I spent a lot of time there at the Cody's. It's a Western dance club. It's a bar, but it's mostly it's set up for dancing. They got a big dance floor, and
Yeah, that's another
been a
difference
long
of me
time
and
now.
Brett. I
Yeah.
don't dance,
I don't do that anymore. I mean, it's been a long time.
but you could.
I probably could. I haven't tried.
You could do a little boot scoot boogie.
Oh yeah, they got their own rendition of boot scooting boogie in Texas.
So he does
It's
like to
different.
do that, and I encourage him to go out and do that.
And for those of you that don't know,
I'll sit in the audience and watch.
Texas country music and Nashville country music are different. They're not the same country music. Texas is more Western dance country, and Nashville country is more ballads and more of that
Someone
kind of
said
thing.
you do not want to go to that area. It is dangerous.
Yeah, where?
Where you were talking about.
Oh, it may be. Colleen used to, and I don't know, I haven't been there in so long. Like it's really long.
Stuff
30
changes
years
pretty
or more.
rapidly. 30 years
Yeah,
is
it's
a
a long
very long
time.
time. I'm surprised in 10 years how an area changes. I know.
This is when I was there. I can't remember the year exactly. But I can tell you some significant events that happened while I was there. So that's the year I was there. Do you remember the Waco thing and the Branch Davidian compound, that church extreme group where Waco came in with the raid and all that, and it burned up? I was there when that happened. The Luby's cafeteria had some wackadoodle that drove through the front doors and started shooting up people. I was there when that happened. The Killeen Kangaroos high school team won state championship. I was there when that happened. So all of that should have happened in the same year group, give or take a few years, because I was there for a while. So that's when I was there. I want to say it was 90, 89, 90, 91, that era, somewhere in there. So that's when I was there, and I haven't been back since.
I was in high school.
Oh, wow. So yeah, it's been a while. I think that was my third duty station. I went to Fort Bragg for a year and a half, very short. Then I went to Turkey for 1 year. So I was in the military for 2.5 years before I went to Fort Hood. But when I got there, that seemed to be my home base for a while, because I was there 4 years. Then I went to Korea and I came back. Did 2 more years. I deployed and came back. Did 2 more years, and then I finally left Texas and didn't go back. But I used to like Texas. They got friendly people. They're a proud state. They're definitely a hua state, as the Army guys would say.
Like I said, I only been there once.
I don't know that it's that way anymore.
I don't have anything bad to say about anybody from Texas. I've never had any problems.
Yeah.
So
I know in Texas it used to be a thing that if the guy was, they have a lot of good road courtesy in Texas. That if the guy behind, if you're on a 1-lane road, like maybe a 2-lane road, 1 lane in each direction, and you're faster than the car in front of you, then that front car would just pull over and ride on the shoulder and let you pass. You do that in another state, you get a ticket. Texas is the only place I've ever seen that, where it's common for people to drive on the shoulder to let cars behind them go by them. I've only seen that in Texas.
My hair's getting way too long. I can't even fit it into the camera. And we just cut it.
Yeah. I look forward to go down there. I think there'll be a lot to see and a lot to do down there. I'm sure it's changed.
Everything has changed.
Probably not for the better, but I'm willing to keep an open mind.
Jason says Texas is such a cute little state.
Yeah, you're the only one that can say that.
Oh, that was good, Jason.
Yeah,
I love it.
For some that don't know, Alaska is huge. It's about 2.5 times the size of Texas. So if you were to lay it on top of the United States, the Aleutian chain and the part that goes down toward Washington would touch both coastlines. It would touch both Jacksonville, Florida, and San Diego, California. So that's how big Alaska is. People don't sometimes realize how big it is. And most of it is untouched by man. Most of it has never been touched. True story.
Do they have big ducks there?
I think they do.
As big as my new duck?
Probably. I don't know. Haven't been there in a long time. I don't think ducking was a thing when I was there. They have tall cowboy hats and cowboy boots, which I used to have all that. I still have a hat, but I wouldn't really call it a cowboy hat. It's more of a pioneer.
It looks like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
All right.
But well, hey, I want to thank our moderators.
Yes.
And
thank you so much to our awesome moderators.
Yep.
I love you guys.
Hopefully y'all had nothing to do tonight but listen and chime in on the chat and didn't have to strike anybody. Hopefully everybody behaved. I can't really see the chat from here, so
yeah, I agree. I need a hot tub for the ducks.
We've looked at a few hot tubs and just can't find those small ones.
Brett keeps saying we should have kept our one person
because you can't find them
from Shady Oaks. And I had told him originally when we bought our RV that we should get a trailer and put that one person hot tub on the back, and they'd be like, oh, here comes Florida man with his hot tub rolling behind his RV. But he didn't listen.
If we ever stay here,
now he's regretting that.
I would get a small hot tub if we stayed here, but because we're traveling, it's like, what's the point? Now you have to drain it or winterize it, or it's just something else you have to prepare.
More work.
So,
but yeah, I miss my little hot tub over there at Shady Oaks.
We've got the lake. That's we'll play in the lake when we're here.
And what else? Also, thank all our members.
Yeah.
I know this week we shared a little concert from when we were at the Methodist church.
Yes.
It was a nice concert. That was one of those compromise things that Brett went to with me because I do like listening to the orchestra. I am very diversified in my likes. So I can like some rap. I can like some country. I can like some rock. And I do like jazz. I like a little of everything.
But gospel's probably your favorite, huh?
Probably.
We did some Waymaker in the church this morning.
But so I like a lot of different things. And Brett it's not necessarily his thing to go to see that kind of show. No. So we did share that.
I still liked it.
It was fun. And it was a great performance. They didn't even charge anybody for. So that was a good time. We shared that with our members. I don't know what we'll do this week, but thank you guys all for helping support the channel. We have 2 tiers of membership. And on the upper tier, we do a video or a live a week. And like I said, I don't know what we'll do this week because we don't even know what we're doing yet.
Yeah,
we never do. It's on the fly. It's always an adventure on the fly. So we do appreciate you guys. We appreciate all our subscribers. And like I mentioned last week, if you notice that you were unsubscribed or you're not getting the notifications, sometimes you need to manually unsubscribe yourself and resubscribe. And then you hit that little bell and hit the notifications also that you'll get notified of whenever something comes out. Because YouTube just randomly does this stuff and starts unsubscribing people. Or even if you're subscribed, you just don't get the notifications. So make sure you check that and see if that happened to you. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in and for joining us on our adventures. I know this week we'll be sharing a couple more of our adventures from when we were in Savannah with you, and then we'll be looking for new ones.
Yep. So there'll be a few more Savannah videos.
So don't get confused and say, I thought you were in Tennessee. Yeah. I always tell Brett, because I still have some from Key West and from Alaska. And I'm like, I just want to throw one. He goes, you're going to confuse everybody. So
realize that the videos are not live.
They're not in real time.
They're not in real time.
So I could just randomly throw something out from Alaska or Key West. You never know. Just remember that we're not there particularly at that time, so don't get confused.
Right. But when we're live, you can see where we're at. We're at the cabin.
Yeah, we don't have any fake backdrops.
Yeah, no fake backdrops.
We don't try to fool you. But we appreciate you all for spending time with us, for lifting us up and supporting us, for helping spread positivity and God's love. We love all you guys, and we look forward to every day being better than we were the day before. thank you for sharing all your love with us.
And the chat should transfer over once the video is saved. So it does take time for this live to finish downloading. And we'll be in the chat to read and see if you guys had any comments that we need to respond to or take notice of. But if you have specific questions for Madam Mayor, you can email her at madammayorsadventures@gmail.com, and she will answer your email if you have, questions or comments or anything that needs our attention.
And
right
thank
away.
you to all our moderators for putting different links up in the chat while we were going. I know I saw they put the email address up, the Amazon list, and links for t-shirts and all those things that are normally in the video descriptions. And we appreciate all your hard work, everybody. I hope everybody has an awesome Thanksgiving and eats a whole lot of food and gobble till you wobble and just enjoy the day without regrets.
Go
and then
Vols.
The next day, get back on your wagons, enjoy your time with your family and friends, because you never know what tomorrow holds. So cherish everybody and the day that you have, and heal whatever wounds you may have with people. Now is a good time. It's always a good time, but now is an even better time. So be kind to each other and spread the love. And we hope to hear stories, good stories about everybody's Thanksgiving and all the good food and great memories you made with everybody.
And tell us where you spent your Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And we'll just be here eating our BOGO pies and ice cream.
BOGO.
And hopefully hitting the gym afterwards to work it all off.
Yeah.
But thanks, guys, for everything you do for us and each other. We love you. And we'll talk to y'all soon.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Out.